You're live.
Hey, hello, and welcome to the second episode of uh, Cyberpunk 2049, a solid state society. With us tonight, we have a player from yesterday, Matihi, who's playing Yin, and three new players: Ghost, who's going to play Trauma, Tet, who's going to play Yang, and Rogue, who's going to play Machine. Like yesterday, I will allow them to introduce themselves um, when the time is appropriate. Since we have new players, I'm going to read out the welcome message again and the technological and socio-political timelines again. So if you're watching this video, just bear with me for the next 5 to 10 minutes, um, trying to get our players immersed into the world. So here goes. You should all see a handout now saying welcome. Welcome. The year is 2049. The place, Icarus 1. The past 50 years, humanity has progressed technologically far beyond any expectation. The constant drive to innovate has created a gestalt that depends on technology, same priority as food, air, and water. Corporations merged, profits soared, and innovations became boundless. Without care or thought, humanity embraced every technical marvel. We let it take over every aspect of our lives. Soon megacorps were calling the shots, and they did not care about rules, governments, or human rights. All aspects of the social apparatus were subverted in the name of profits and market capital. Why did this work? How could we, the people, let this happen? Society did not contend with the fact that it is not possible to make a lasting compromise between technology and freedom. Technological progress marches in only one direction. It can never be reversed. This fundamental fact makes technology a powerful social force that continually encroaches on personal freedom through repeated compromises. Technical innovation once introduced, people become dependent on it. Not only do people become dependent as individuals, system as a whole becomes dependent on the technology. So now we live in an age where accepting progress is no longer optional. Corporations and technology have changed society forever. There is no going back. Our planet has become a festering cesspool of human flesh. With global population close to 10 billion, there is little left that is not fought tooth and nail over. As we let avarice into our hearts, our souls have left us collectively. We choose not to see the meltdown around us. Rather, we as a species escape into cyberspace, hoping as always, some Messiah will come and save us. No one will. Welcome to Icarus 1, a solid state society. Technology history, the current times. 2020, the first visual representation of the net is realized. Virtual reality leads into cyberspace. 2021, Disney and Sony merge, creating a megacorp that controls all facets of entertainment. 2023, Intel, Mitsubishi, Samsung, and Huawei merge to form Ono Sendai Corp. CyberRig start mass production. Access to cyberspace is now available to the masses. 2024, Nokia, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Apple merge to form ManCorp. 2028, ManCorp creates immersive reality. Viewers can now be in the content. Entertainment no longer feels like virtual reality. Entertainment starts to be consumed in a new and fully immersive medium. 2030, all social media integrate into a single megacorp named Loki. 2032, 3M and Foxconn merge to form the largest manufacturing house mankind has ever seen. 1 billion people in Mongolia now work at the 3M Con factories, manufacturing anything and everything, electronics and medical. 2032, Ono Sendai continues innovation in cyber rigs. The rigs are getting smaller and more portable. 2035. Immersive reality is now the only way people consume entertainment. Society's first step towards existing mostly in an altered state starts now. 2038. 3M Con is now at the forefront of bioelectromechanical innovation. They become the sole manufacturer of all cyberware and human augmentation products. 2040. Alphabet creates the first true AI, Anna 1, augmented neural network anthropomorphism. Anna 1 is tasked with finding the perfect answer to every question humanity can ask it. Within hours of Anna 1's activation, cyberspace goes into meltdown. The AI is growing and learning at an exponential pace. The first cyber war is waged. Cyber militaries from Russia, China, India, Kenya, Germany, Australia, and the Republic of Northern California join forces to bring down Anna 1. Many lives are lost, for a mind dead in cyberspace cannot function in reality. Humanity is victorious, and like all wars, the spoils get unequally divided. Code dumps of Anna 1 are scooped up in cyberspace by all countries involved in the conflict. 2041. Alphabet as a company shuts down after the Anna 1 disaster and its subsidiaries are bought. 2042. Turing Society is formed to ensure no country or conglomerate ever creates an unbreaked AI, and none of Anna 1's cores find each other. 2045. Breaked AIs birthed from Anna 1's code start appearing on the net. Loki, Man, Ono Sendai, and many other large corporations now have breaked AIs running a significant portion of the business. A socio-political history of the times. 2020. The state of California has had enough federal government policies. The state starts the process to secede from the union. That same year, the state of California also achieves the status of the world's largest GDP. 2028, California successfully secedes from the union. Republic of United California, RUC, is formed. 2029, Texas and the Carolinas secede as well. Washington State and Oregon secede to form the Pacific Northwest Combine. 2030, El Grande hits the San Andreas fault line, massive loss of life. A new landmass forms off the northern coast of California. The island is named Buena Vista. 2034, in the aftermath of El Grande, the RUC opens door to large-scale immigration from other continents. The goal was to give a boost to local economy. 2035, the RUC proceeds to develop and enlarge Buena Vista Island. Icarus One is created. Immigration control annex, relocate upon suitability is the full definition of Icarus One. All immigrants coming into the RUC are housed and processed at Icarus One. 2040, the tide of immigrants is too much for the RUC to handle. The Republic is strained for resources. Northern and Southern California separate to two republics. The Republic of Northern California, RNC, is formed. 2045, relocation from Icarus One is paused by RNC. Autonomy is provided to Icarus One to govern itself and reduce the dependence on RNC. 2049, present day. The RNC and Icarus One are hotbeds of innovation in technology, entertainment, medicine, robotics, and of course, criminal activity. In the last session, when we stopped, Neuro and Yin were tasked with providing Overwatch for a transaction that was facilitated by Mr. Sachs. Mr. Sachs' personal assistant and a bodyguard from his cadre were at the scene, and they were meeting somebody, the details of which you do not know, and two suitcases were in exchanged. One seemed normal, most probably money. The other one smaller, its contents unknown. After the exchange, Ian and Nero were supposed to meet um, the other two, Mr. Sachs's men, in an alleyway. That was their pickup. Get in the car and get back to Mr. Sachs. It was at that point that they were ambushed by what looked like gang members. Yin and Nero fought hard, but in the end, there were too many. Nero was abducted, Yin was shot and left for dead. And that is where we shall pick up. At the end of the last session, Yin called someone she did not expect to call, someone that was at the bottom of her list of contacts, someone she wished she would not have had to call. The scene shall move to that someone who received the call. Give me a moment.
The screen pans to a large building, older than many of the others, but tall, 40 stories at least. It's called the Fujita Lotus Tower. Most of the occupants are rentals, long-term or short-term. The camera pans in, zooming closer and closer to one of the top suites. Not the very top, not the penthouse. You see an Asian man looking through his cyber rig, a towel around his waist, a woman in bed on her compad working. He stands up, takes his rig off, and tosses it onto the table. The camera looks into the rig and sees a tree with pink petals falling, floating through the air, and butterflies flying into the sky. The man walks from the room and out onto a balcony, tightening the towel around his waist as he does so. He makes his way to the banister, leaning his elbows forward and looking down into the street far, far below. The lights, the noises, the sirens, the mass of humanity at night. His gaze lifts up, looking at the moon, looking at the stars, most obscured from the smog, the heat on his brow, almost causing him to sweat. He sighs and begins speaking to himself. I am numb until the calm with these idle thoughts, and I wish I could delete them. Do you remember that place, the garden with the trees? Their petals pink and soft, they would slowly fall through the air, covering the ground like a wonderful rug. Ha! How I marveled. The butterflies were perched in its branches, hundreds, thousands. It was heaven. How I wanted to stay. And you gloated. It was yours, you owned it. How can such a man own and acquire such a thing? The construction, metal on metal, the plastic, the glass, the cables. I watched every day. You built a building on top of it. A skyscraper. Another of thousands, indistinguishable from the next. You pushed down on it with your love, your special attention. No matter your love, your science, such a thing cannot live so oppressed. And one by one the trees died in their garden, surrounded by this hunk of man-made flesh. The butterflies starved, and eventually, when they were gone, you built a plaque to commemorate them. The butterfly garden. Devoid of butterflies or a garden. What plaque did you build in my image? What idol to show your friends after I was gone? Did you lie and say you loved me? That you would wait for my return and embrace me? Fuck you, Father Sama. What love could you give? What affection? I hated your gaze. I hated your words. But mostly, I hated you. I hate you still. I hate you for the lie I tell myself. You cannot mold me. You cannot shape me. You cannot fill me. But you have. You have, Father Sama. With every slight, every look, every act of deceit, and every time your hand struck my mother, my sister, I learned a valuable lesson. But here I am, on the edge, ready to fall, stuck deep by my duty and love. I am one flower, hanging on a steep cliffside. My roots fail, and I die. I feel a cold breeze. The goosebumps, they cover me now. I'm surprised. It was not always so. It was hot, always hot here. The sun melting our skies, the waters rose. We would not see another 1,000 years. That's what they said, all those scientists. Boiling seas, ravaged flesh. Who the fuck cares? I'm going to be dirt before it matters. Nah, Kumiko stirs. She was working. She never slept. A single determination to regain what is hers. I envy that. Undivided attention. Kumiko never had nights like this. Nights of doubt, nights of calm. My rebellion was complete. Push those feelings down, hero. Bury them deep. Was it for love, lust, hate? It does not matter, hero. You are the geisha. Play your part. Serving your madam. You are the samurai wielding your blade, unfeeling, unquestioning to your lord. Tomorrow would come quickly. New task would be given. Murderer, liar, lover, spokesman, guard, any and all. It did not matter. This was my life now. I had traded one pimp for another. I am not so stupid to not have noticed. Like butterflies, my thoughts flutter against the strong breeze. I must care for them lest their legs break by the slightest touch of hate. My mind must be clear, not clouded. Push it down. Deep they must go, deeper than the ocean. Hide them for a pleasant dream, betray nothing. Steel yourself for this world, hero. This neon hell. Draw your blade, kill the boy, kill your past. Kill the doubt. Play this new world Bushido fantasy. Fuck everyone. Fuck you. Fuck me. Murder the world. And yet my blade dulls upon the red tide that washes ashore in my mind. Memories that grow, they grow like a tidal wave. I cannot ignore them. I cannot evade them. They rise against my best attempts to stamp them out. The closer I get to you, Father Sama, the more they flood my brain anew. Your lessons, your brutality, and your love. You would say, never betray your family. Never expose your true nature. Never show weakness, and never fail. Your mantra I have learned, and I have disobeyed. My hate wells inside. I feel my skin flush against the cold, my muscles tense, my anus tighten, my cock stiffen. I am the mass of anxiety and fury, a harbinger of death. I push away the calm, I prepare for my future. The future of this hell, for in hell you are a devil or you the condemned. I am the Oni, the flying dragon, and soon, very soon, this world shall feel the heat of my breath and sting of my claws and the terror of my gaze. I have left many behind. There is only Kumiko now. My Amaterasu, my son, I grasp at your dark, majestic light. My gaze is blurred. I close my eyes. I see a mother, discarded by everyone, divorced now and disgraced, all deserved. Guilt, I vanquish you from my mind. Visit some nightmare upon me if you must. I shall fight you. Kyuko's plight is her own. You fed her your Arvis. You put yourself behind her wall, and he smashed it. Do you remember the lessons she taught you? Thank you, sister. Did she learn your final lesson? Was she alive? I do not know. It matters not. Weakness is defeat. Strength is victory. She is but a shadow, a long-faded memory now. Push it down, hero. Forget your past. You are the Oni, the demon of this hell. Bring to them your judgment. There is only this new world Bushido. Clear your mind. Fill it with hate and strife. Fill it with your duty. Destroy everything else. Impale it on your blade of vengeance. Let your tears be for your pillow. Suffocated and forgotten. And he opens his eyes again, looking back into the lights. Stepping backwards, he turns. Pausing, he looks out into the sky once more, taking a deep breath and trying to recall the stars that he can no longer see as a great smog rolls high above, choking his breath and obscuring his view. I'm done.
When Yang is gazing up at the sky and pondering life, he hears the shrill and ever-present ring of a phone, a compad.
Yang turns, looking to a bamboo table where he had left his phone earlier. Who wants me this late? He walks to the table, picks up the phone and looks at it. He does not recognize the number. Pushing a button, he brings it to his head. By that time, the tech on his phone has descrambled the source. He frowns. Chiyako?
Hero.
What is this?
Trust me. The last person I want to call. God. I need help.
Help? From me? Why?
Because if I don't get your help, I am dead. Please, I don't want to beg you, but I need you.
Yang lowers the phone from his ear, his compad, and looks into the sky again, and as the smog kind of dissipates above him, for a moment he sees the stars. Damn it. Lifts the compad up to his face again. Give me your position. I'll be there.
I'm in Haven at the moment. This alleyway beside that main strip club there. That's one Father used to go to. I think it was called the Poland parcel. And by there, hurry. It's cold.
This had best not be some sort of trick or joke.
Why would I bother tricking you at this point? I could have done it at any point. Why 3.5 years? Just, please.
Very well. He turns off the comm pad, walks inside, pushes past Kumiko, begins to dress quickly, looks over to a dashio stand, only half full, with a katana, but missing the wakizashi. He scoops up the sword and slides it across his obi. Kumiko, I am leaving for a while. Business.
And with that, the scene in the apartment fades to black as Yang is headed towards his sister, unsure what awaits him when he gets there, unsure what fate has befallen her. He can't believe the coincidence of the night. But then, aren't all ancient cultures talking about coincidences and the meanings they have? The grander plan within the grander plan. With those thoughts, Yang leaves, and the scene switches to a rundown bar outside the main city limits. It's a common place for thugs, thieves, ruffians, vagabonds, vagrants. The absolute trash of Icarus One. These are the stacks. Ghettos, slums were what we used to call them 20, 30 years back. Well, in 2049, people live in ghettos and slums. They're considered the middle class now. No, the stacks. The stacks is where we pushed the less fortunate, the ones that we should have saved, but the ones we never cared about. And the stacks mutated into something else. It's in one of these that the scene opens, and we focus on a man that seems to be in the middle of a street brawl. Go ahead.
Growing up in the Corps, I pretty much flew by with a stellar record of service and first recon. Excellent at following orders. Excellent scores on both the range and aptitude tests. All physical and mental functions were operating at an above average level. My boys gave me the nickname Machine. Said I kinda acted like one. I never really understood the joke though. I was in line for service and the Special Forces started working on some new cyber soldier program. But then my last recon mission went sideways. I was pulling my wounded captain out of the line of fire when a grenade exploded. It took off my left arm, shrapnel in my face and torso. I was able to shield the cap and save his life, but that split-second decision changed everything. Sure, the military paid for the repairs to my body, and replacements, biological and otherwise, were covered. But the honorable discharge was like a slap in the face. Something that came from higher up. At first, I thought it was a way of saying, you're getting too costly for us to fix up every time you get wounded or some shit. I found out later it was my CEO, Ferris, that signed the order for me to take the nap. Ferris had always seemed jealous of me for some reason. I always thought that maybe to him I just had that look, the one that pisses you off. Captain told me later about him wanting the cyber soldier gig though. This was the perfect opportunity for him to get get me sent out of his face and to take the slot. Shit, man, send me somewhere else. Get me reassigned. Don't get me dropped, you fucking dick. I don't need all that big time government shit like Ferris wanted. So I made sure to visit Ferris on the base after getting all fixed up with my new arm. I wanted to ask him face to face if it was him that signed the order. Ferris didn't say anything because he's a little bitch. He smiled though, a grimy ass grin, like he'd beaten me at something. So I knocked him out, threw him across the room and beat him down. Lucky his assistant came in. She asked me to stop. I kinda just wanted to see the inside of his face at that point, so probably good she came in. But that sealed it all up for sure for me. No military service, no special forces. I fucking handed Ferris exactly what he wanted. Handed it to his face. Yeah, that is how it always was for me, you know. If you have a problem with something, you either put your fist through it or shoot it in the fucking head. I guess it's a good thing I didn't have a gun that day. I spent some time in a cell for it too. Psych evals had PTSD, head trauma from combat, highly impulsive, lack of empathy. They tried to put me on meds, but those just made me want to strangle the fuck out of people. Captain Richard would come by to see me. And I was happy to see him, I guess. We would shoot the shit for a bit, but he would always stir up bad memories and start talking about how he was sorry for everything. How he couldn't sleep. He would have this dream where he's stuck in the mud up to his chest and all the people he killed are in it with him. But they keep slowly getting closer to him and he's screaming, trying to crawl over them. What the fuck is that shit about? Dude, it ain't like that, I tell him. It was them or it was you, and you're still here. He said, because of you. It's like life. We're all in the mud, and some of us get sucked down. Some of us have to push others down just to get out. He called it the pit. I can see that, but I'm not letting anyone drag me down with them. He said I should really go see a shrink, and I was like, shit, you're the one having dreams about a fucking pit with dead people crawling around in it. He said he was worried about me, told me there was a reason they had given me the name Machine, like I wasn't even human or some shit. I said, well, thanks to your ass getting me blown up. He knows I'm just messing with him though. So I went back to live with my father for a while to take care of the old man in his last years of life. My mother had been killed in a vehicle collision when I was 15 years of age, and ever since, it had just been Pops and me. The old man was a boozer and a pillhead, and it finally took its toll on him, though. Sometimes there's just that kind of fucked up you can't fix, he would always say. I knew he was talking about us both. I didn't really realize anything was ever wrong with me until I sat there and watched him die. I didn't feel anything, and it kind of bothered me later. Like I realized, wasn't I supposed to feel something? I've seen plenty of bad things, done plenty of bad things, real bad things to people. Shit that maybe I'll answer for when time comes. But I don't ever have any feelings about it. Nothing except anger, I guess. Combat was always very focused, though. You know, it's like the kill switch clicks and there's your target, put them down, there's nothing more to it. I didn't usually ever hate who I was killing, it's just a job. Seems like it'd be more fun if you hated the one you were killing. I knew I had to do something, though. I had to get back into some kind of action before I started climbing the walls. Fucking sitting in my old place, staring out the window at the city going by without me is just like sitting in the mud and sinking. I had to get back into the shit somehow. I started fighting these underground pits. I guess just to feel something, even if it's only for a few minutes. Getting punched in the face a few times will do that to you. This last guy, he only lasted a minute though. No hard feelings, man. I need the money. I don't mind killing people for money either. World won't miss bad people. Plenty of those fuckers around to kill. So after leaving the fight, I take a step into the back alley. And I'm thinking about digging up some old contacts. But it looks like they found me first. A missed call and a message from Chiako. Holy hell. What could she possibly want? I hadn't talked to her in like 6 or 7 years. I liked her a lot, but she dumped me back in the day. It's really weird. It was just a message. Just when things started to feel right. I gotta call her back. He steps out into the alley and makes the call.
And Chiako, surprisingly, she's leaning against the wall in the alley there. Hearing her phone ring, and she pulls it out and looks at it. Oh. And she puts it up to her ear. Dang, the machine, you called me back.
Chi-Chi. Is that you? What are you doing calling me?
Trying to get a hold of someone in a bad spot.
You don't sound so good. You alright?
I felt better. And I felt worse, but probably only time I think I might die.
Oh shit, where are you at?
Haven, outside Poland parcel. It's a alleyway next to it. Fuck.
You say you're wounded? You bleeding?
Yeah. I don't think it's good.
All right, I'll call somebody. I know just who to call. I'll be there soon.
Okay.
Bye, Chi.
Bye, Dean.
So he immediately, frantically kind of looks through his phone real quick for Trauma's number and gives him a call.
And with that, as Machine is calling Trauma, the scene fades from the stacks and the street fight, where it looks like Machine has won again, destroyed his opponent, lying on the ground, barely moving. And you can see Machine doesn't give a fuck whether the person lives or dies. The scene shifts to what looks like a hospital. A very stern-looking man is standing by a bed, and a child is in the bed. And the camera starts focusing in on the man and his facial features. Go ahead, Trauma.
I was a soldier. I left everything behind to be one. Home, family, football, school, none of that mattered. I felt the call to serve. Serve I did. I was in the Navy for 6 years. Some of the best years of my life. Found my calling on the battlefield. Carrying the dead from the field, keeping the dying from becoming that way. I killed my fair share of enemies. It's like killing animals. You turn numb to it. You can enjoy it. It wasn't a big war while I served mine. It was smaller scale. Terrorists and rebels still fuck shit up, even when cyber warfare and drone strikes gun them down by the boatload. My country still needed the Marines. I thought I'd be globetrotting my rifle forever. Then I met her. year one of my military contract, and I already wanted to give it all away to spend each waking moment with her. Hera was her name. It's a weird name, but it's one that sticks with you. I didn't have a chance from day one, you know. Those eyes. The windows of the soul never been cleaner in a human being. Couldn't stop staring. There's not a lot of purity left in this world. Tech, cybernetics changed us. The cold, unfeeling. But her, she still had that thing so many people don't. Humanity. I knew I had to have her. She had to have me. I'd give her stability. She'd keep me human. We were together for a year before I proposed. Right there in front of thousands at a smash ball game. Pre-game ceremonies, welcome home for the troops. All that soppy bullshit. Normally it'd make me sick at all the stage hero worship. But I planned it out. Even shocked the organizers for the game. Didn't tell a damn soul. God, her reaction was priceless. Smile like Christmas. Gleam of hope. Dark times. We were married for 5 years. She gave my Clarissa. Beautiful daughter, got the best for the both of us. As pretty as her mother, strong as daddy. Quick too. She was crushing kids on the court. She'd be a college baller for sure. I just had to do my part and get her there. GI Bill money flowed in. I was 6 years away from my doctor, but already getting a lot of hands-on time at the hospital as a nurse after I mustered out. Taking as many courses as I could handle to get my degree early for my girl. Hera was making money hand over fist as a motivational speaker more than I made most of the time. We still made time on the weekends and evenings to keep the family tight. Life was good. It was all a dream. But like any dream, you have to wake up and face cold reality when it hits you. I see the same scene when I close my eyes to go to bed every night. B&E turned into a homicide. 2 cold bodies on the floor. Beautiful pair of eyes staring at the ceiling. Chest is still, she's gone. Other side of the room, bodies mostly still. I can see the struggling lungs fluttering. I know how to save her, but I'm frozen. Shock must have taken over. Even when paramedics rushed in, I think I sat there in blood for an eternity. I'm still sitting in it, really. It never washed off. I sit in the hospital bedside. My baby girl exists but doesn't live. Brain function slowly being regained piecemeal, but she's still locked in a dream. I hope that she dreams for a while, because I'm gonna have to hit her with a nightmare when she wakes up. I'm gonna have to explain why Daddy couldn't be there to protect her like I should have. I'm gonna tell her that Mommy is in the ground. Beautiful eyes covered by dirt, worms. I have to tell her why the guys that did this are only in prison for 6 years because it was ruled accidental. But I'm staying busy. Hospital bills ain't cheap. And I got about 6 years to kill before I decide to do something that might leave my baby alone in this world. Score to settle, so to speak. I hit up some old contacts from my killing days for cash in the meantime. Private medical sector work. Soldiers who can patch up rich assholes that get shot, OD, or both. Sometime bodyguard, sometime medic, sometime strong arm. It doesn't matter to me what I do. I have to survive, pay for the machines to keep my baby alive till she wakes up. Yeah, she'll hate it. Maybe hate me too, all that I've done. So fuck wallowing in pity. I'm a savior. I'm a killer. I'm a merc. A real man does anything he can for his family, even if it leaves him bathed in blood, bile, and regrets. I'm gonna do my part to make sure Clarissa wakes up to a world full of opportunity, no matter what it costs me or anyone else. Call me trauma. I'm either the first face you see when you wake up, or the last face you see before you sleep forever.
And as Trauma sits by the hospital bed, staring at the only hope he has in this world at the moment, he hears the familiar ringtone of his compact.
Pulls the phone up. Yeah.
Hey, Trauma, brother. I know I haven't called you in a while, but I need your help, man.
Dean. Better be good. You're calling it a really bad time.
I know, man. I've been thinking about you and your girl and stuff, and I was thinking about getting to some work again, but I got a friend who needs help real bad. She's bleeding out.
Is this a favor or am I getting paid, Dean?
Maybe both. I mean, I know her family's rich and all. I don't know, but right now I'm just asking for a favor. If we can get you paid, I'm willing to do that.
Where?
It's in Haven. But you can pick me up at the pit. In the stacks.
Yeah, fine. I'll be there. Be ready when I get there.
Thanks, brother. I owe you one.
Bye. Clicks the phone off and walks over and pats Clarissa on the head. I gotta go get some work, sweetie. I'll see you tomorrow. Goes and grabs his bag and proceeds out of the hospital.
And as the scene fades, you see Trauma, face set in stone, the emotion evaporating as soon as he leaves his baby's presence. Gets in the car, starts it, and drives off on his way to the stacks to pick up Machine. And the screen fades to black before the camera zooms in on a scene in a familiar alleyway. I want Dean to roll me a 1d2 and Yang to roll me a 1d2.
Who's first?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Same time.
Excellent. So in the alleyway, a car appears out of the blue and screeches to a halt. Out of it jumps Machine. And at the same time as this happens, a lone figure walking all by himself is approaching from the north end of the alleyway as both of you see each other. Machine, you see this man walking towards you, the car, Trauma, and Yin. Yang, you see a car pull up, a burly looking man, clearly someone not to be tangled with in a dark alley, has just stepped out and seems to be searching for something. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Machine will kind of rush over to her. Chi, you all right? And then he's gonna keep an eye on that shadowy figure approaching.
And Yin will have her eyes closed and her vaporizer still on. She opens her eyes, and her side's still bleeding out pretty roughly. And she looks over to Machine with eyes half lidded. She reaches up with the arm not holding her wound and removes the vaporizer and gives him kind of a half smile. Better late than never.
Machine will give her a smile, and then quickly fades away as he looks back over at Trauma. She looks to be messed up pretty bad, bro.
Trauma comes over, he's got his bag brought out, and yeah, it's a real sterile fucking environment for Trim, but we'll make it work. Pulls a blanket out and lays it down. Get her on there, and then move.
He'll help him out. Look over at the shadowy figure. Who the hell's this guy?
Unfortunately, I think it's my brother.
From down the alleyway, Yang is walking. Not quickly. Measured. Watching what's going on. Approaching directly. His hand sitting on his obi with his both thumbs tucked into the front. He approaches and looks down at Yin from a slight distance, saying nothing.
Machine will, his angry look on his face kind of fade as he remembers seeing him once in the street as he drove up and dropped Chi off. Oh, hey, how are you? Looks like you're a little late.
He looks up at Machine and steps past him. Late? I am here exactly the time I wish to be. Who are you?
I'm an old friend. She called me. She needed help.
Ah, I see. Kind of moves closer to Yin and looks at over at Trauma. Is she going to live?
We're about to find out. Look her over, and what do I see as far as injuries?
Hi. So you see that Yin has been shot along her left torso. You see a couple of bullet holes, look like 9mm. The bleeding has subsided a bit, but she has lost quite a lot of blood.
Alright, so I'm going to try to stabilize, and that's going to determine what I say next.
Okay.
So I have med kit. I stabilize on an 8.
Okay, go for it. So I believe is int and heal, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Would I be able to select that from the skills roll?
Yes. If you click on skills, there you go. Yes. So how does that look?
Yeah, she lost a lot of blood, but 9 mil is weak shit in this day and age. She'll be fine. I got stabilizer. Then we're gonna take her to a med fac I know about.
Ah, very good. Yin, do you have money to pay this man for his services? Or will I be footing the bill for you, as usual?
I mean, I'd appreciate it, hero.
Ah, a favor then. He looks over Yin looking for a very specific item. Does she have said specific item on her person?
Of course. It's in her boot there.
Is it? Can I see it?
Yeah, it would be fairly ornate. Kind of the hilt sticking up. It's definitely not been used at all.
Sister, someone must pay the price for your misdeeds. I believe I will take what is mine now, and then I will pay for your surgery. And he kneels down and roughly just tries to rip it out of her boot.
She doesn't resist. She does look down and she looks like she's gonna do something, but just kind of leans back. Really? Not even gonna ask.
What do you want me to ask, sister?
If you can take it, instead of just ripping it from my grasp.
It is mine. Why would I ask?
It's always yours. Everything's always yours. Fine. Take the trinket. Keep it.
He smiles and turns to Trauma. Your bill will be paid.
Sounds good. She's maybe moving a bit too much for Trauma. Saying, hold still, which will bleed to death.
Okay. And she'll stay still and have a look between Machine and Yang. I was surprised either of you either answered or called me back.
Machine will look over to her and say it's been a long time. We didn't exactly part ways yesterday, though. Still good to hear from you.
You too.
He's gonna look. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, you brought him, and she'll gesture with her eyes to Trauma.
Yeah, he's a good man. He'll fix you up when you need it. I'll pat Trauma on the shoulder. And I'll start looking around on the ground, look around this crime scene area, see if I can see what happened. Shell casings, any more blood spatter, any more dead bodies.
Yep. So you notice that there is a dead body not very far from Yin. There is a single wound right between the eyes, the bridge of the nose. Looks like a small blade made a pretty large impact right there. A clean kill. You can see the look on the face. The face died with a surprised look. Seems a little strange. You look to your to the west. You see that there is another car completely shot up. It's a good car, very well made, looks expensive. As you get closer to the car, you see that there are two dead bodies, one closer to the car. The man seems of East Asian descent and has a single bullet wound in the head, again what looks like a headshot. The other body is a little further away. Clearly that person was running away, and from the clothes you can make out that this person was not a combatant. Looks like somebody who either drove the car or was here on administrative purposes. You look up the road northbound. You see that there are tri-tracks that looks like a lightweight, medium-sized industrial truck drove in. There's shell casings all over. As you kind of like get that mental picture, you get up and start looking around. You see that this was quite a firefight.
Machine will look back over to Yin and ask, What the hell happened here, Chi? What'd you get yourself into?
And Yin will move we can back to her vaporizer, put it back over her face, taking a deep inhale. Another job. Gone wrong, unfortunately.
Yang has an extremely disgusted look on his face. He kind of has been lingering after he took the wakizashi and says, "What is that?"
What's this? And she'll gesture to her face.
Do you have some sort of breathing problem, sister?
Well, the problems come if I don't.
Do I know what that is? For vaporizer?
Go ahead, Trauma, and give me an int plus no.
Oh shit.
Actually, wait, just give me a moment. Give me an int plus heal, actually, but this one is a little different. Difficulty is a little higher, though. You know that there is some sort of vapor being inhaled from that mask. It is unclear to you if it is something as simple as, like a breathing enhancer. People use it often when the smog and the particulates in the air get a little too much. But you're also not sure because those things are smaller, while this thing seems to be a little more bulkier and has an industrial grade look to it. Give me now a notice plus. Give me a now notice plus int.
Give me one moment to do so. Notice.
It should be maybe in your untrained skills. There you go. You notice that Yin's pulse, while ragged when he just got here, seems to have evened out. Not fully evened out, but definitely more mellow than what it was when you first got to her. In the dim light, you can't really make out what's happening, but you can definitely see some facial features relax.
Just gonna put that little tidbit in his head. Alright, that's as much as I can do without a medfac. Let's go ahead and get her into my car. Let's get her to the medical facility.
Machine's gonna come over and help do that. He's also gonna ask Yin. So did you lose this fight? Did they get away?
Unfortunately, I was not on my correct playing field. But needs to get done. This job needs to get done. There's no failing it. I have to finish it.
You don't look like you're going to finish anything.
I will. I will get this done.
Hey, well, you know, Chi, I'm down to help you. My boy here, though, he needs money.
I don't know if you really require money anymore. It seems you're rolling in it now. But at the end of this job, I can promise you all 1,000 credits. If you help me.
Machine looks over at Trauma as if to ask him without actually asking him. Does that sound good?
Oh, shit, what was the number one more time?
1,000.
1,000?
Mm-hmm.
Trauma will mull it around in his head and medfac first, then we see what it entails, if it's worth 1,000.
Alright. As long as I get the package back to the owner, you will all get paid. And she'll look over to Yang. Are you in it too, hero?
You gonna help your sister or just take her weapons from her?
Perhaps. Let us see, as he had said, if it is worth anything.
Let's spend some quality family time like we used to, huh?
Smiles. Yes. Let us. You would be the one with the bruises and the injuries this time.
I cherish those bruises now.
Chuckles, as do I.
With that, Machine and Trauma get Yin into backseat. Yang gets next to her. Machine drives shotgun. Trauma heads out towards the medfac that he knows the location to. And the scene on the alleyway fades to black as the scene switches over to a clinic. Give me a moment. You guys are now in the medfac. As you guys get there, it's pretty clear that this is one of those, rent a medfac kind of facilities. No different from a car wash. You pay them for using the facility. You have access to most common surgical instruments, anesthesia, anything you require to do work exactly like this. As you guys get there, people know Trauma. Nobody stops you guys. There's a person at the door who says, bay number 13 is open. You guys get in there. And Trauma, you are in a known environment. All the tools you require, no checks necessary. You can proceed to role play how you patch up Yin and bring her to, take care of the wounds for her.
So Trauma, after they bring her in, he looks around and just kind of thinks to himself how fucking shoddy this place is, but it'll do. Lays her on the table, works to go ahead and remove the bullets first. Checks for any kind of serious damage. Appears most of it's going to be easy to recover from. Goes ahead, just go ahead and clamps any minor veins or arteries that were nicked. Stop blood flow, blood loss. Gets everything straightened back out together. And then proceeds to hypo and spray everything up. That'll do for the most part for now. It's a pretty quick recovery. And then if it's something that would assist in any way, I do have let's see, I have lift, which What lift does it increases recovery speed. Mechanically speaking, it heals 1d8 plus my heal skill. So that's something that would be good roleplay purposes. I don't mind using it.
No, I would say keep the heal for this. We'll just do pure roleplay at this point. You do a good job. You make sure all the any torn arteries are clamped and correctly sutured back. You do the last finishing touches. You do a good job of patching her back up. The scar won't remain. And after some time, Yin, your eyes slowly open. The lights have been turned down in the room. There's Yang, Trauma, and Machine they're just standing there, looking at each other, waiting for you to wake up and give them more details of what really happened.
And Yang sits up in the bed and looks down at her wound there, sewn up wound. This is very good work. I thank you.
Yep. As long as the credits come in, doesn't matter to me.
That's on my brother over there.
Yang stands up and rolls up his sleeve and extends his palm, which has a portable credit swipe within it, extending it to Trauma.
Trauma takes it.
Like it's buried in the palm, is what I mean.
Yeah,
like it's
so
something you
Trauma,
would scan with your compad or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like almost like in this age, your compads are kind of like you can use them for communication, banking, so on and so forth.
Like the pay-as-you-go type.
Yeah, pay-as-you. Yeah. So if you hold your compad up to his palm, it's gonna recognize the banking information, and you just have to put in how much you're withdrawing.
Yeah, I would go ahead and hold my compad up and
Nice.
collect the 200. Just not even to my inventory, goes straight to bills, straight to medical bills.
Yang, after you scan it, takes a deep breath, and I will have to explain that to Kumiko. He kind of rounds the bed, and as Yin has been sleeping, he's been looking at the wakizashi, and for a moment he's stepped out. No one was sure if he was going to come back, but he did. And he walks around and looks down at his sister and says, "If you are well enough, I will give this back to you." And he kind of sits it next to her bed and says, "I have polished it for you. It is in poor condition."
Poor condition. I don't use it much, I will say. Only for special occasions. But I am intrigued as to why you would return it after taking it as payment, brother.
His nostrils flare slightly and he says, "Old habits die hard. Weaknesses die hard."
Well, I thank you. Pour it back, and she'll take it and slide it back into the holster in her boot. Now. And she'll slide off the bed. You there, one who fixed me. What is your name?
Trauma.
Trauma. How flexible can I be right now?
Look back at her and, well, in most cases, if you got shot in the side and smashed up, I would say take a couple days bed rest, but Since I fixed you, and since we use this facility, you should be good to go in an hour or two, as if nothing happened. Welcome to the miracles of modern medicine. Just kind of spits that last portion of it out.
Perfect. And she'll stretch a little bit, still a bit wary about her wound there. Now, I am assuming you all might be wondering about what happens.
Yeah, who's responsible for all this?
That is something I'd like to find out, as it is fucked with me finishing this job. We are so close. Everything went well. The drop was done. Items exchanged. Cars separated. We're about to leave. Till 2 people rolled up on us. I easily took one out. Though my compatriots, Nero, unfortunately could not handle his ends. Ended up getting one of our other compatriots shot for his lack of ability to dispatch the enemy. And unfortunately, because of this, we were further ambushed by a vehicle containing a great number of individuals, outnumbering the rest of us. They took out the other compatriots of mine in the car, took the item we were told to procure, shot me up, shot Nero up. I feigned death as I did not want to get shot in the face. Prefer other methods. And Nero was taken by these gentlemen. I do not know if he works for them. Maybe. Maybe they were saving his ass. Or maybe something worse. But they have the item. I need it. I want it. So
What
does
is
my
this
employer.
item?
It looks like almost a small container, a small box. I do not know what is in it. I was not paid to know what was in it. All I know is that I need it in order to complete this job. And once this job is complete, you all get compensated. So, if it is not beneath you, Kyo, and the rest of you, if you want to get paid for your work, I would appreciate assistance, as I do not know exactly how many I will be facing when I attempt to track Nero.
Machine will look around at everybody and nod and offer a smile. Yeah, I'm in it for just the action. It'll be fun to do a job with you, Chief. And when did you start going by the name Yin?
When I left my father.
Wait a
When
minute.
we left our father.
Yin and you're Yang?
He
Is that-
nods.
I'll look away. Machine looks over at Trauma and he says, so are you game for this?
4-way split of 1,000 creds means 250 for me.
No. No. I think you misunderstood me, Trauma. Each of you get 1,000.
And Trauma will stop and look back at that. 1,000 creds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Who exactly are we taking on here?
That is something I do not know. I think I have a way to track where they took my companion. Our enemy, I am not sure what he is at this point. but wherever they took him, I'm sure what I need is there. I do not know who I am facing, but I will connect maybe with my contacts to see if they can give assistance. They had a very distinct tattoo on their necks.
Yakuza?
I do not think so. It was, I think it was Knuckles facing up, was it? Cipher confirmation?
Ah, yes, it was what looked like, those brass knuckles people wear around their hands, facing up towards the chin.
Yeah. So it was brass knuckles facing towards the chin. And very distinct, all of them had it.
Gangers, not corpos.
Yeah, he nods to that. A brutish tattoo.
Exactly. Now, I'll see if maybe if we travel to meet my contact, hopefully picks up this time. We can figure out if he can maybe track Nero. And as I am still hardwired into his compad, but unfortunately I am not technologically savvy as he was. He is very handy with tech, mostly functioning as oversights to our business.
Machine nods and his arms crossed over his chest. He says, "We should probably get moving too if your friend's going to be breathing much longer."
Well, all I really care about is the package, but we should hurry just in case. He was fun to play with.
He was about to turn away and then he caught that last comment. Oh. Well then let's get out of here.
Yeah.
You gotta pick up your gear machine.
I would say that when you picked him up from the stacks, that's when Machine put all his gear in the back of your car. And you would have your gear as well in the back of the car trauma.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Yang.
Yeah, Yang's eyebrow raises. He kind of nods. 1,000 credits, very well. Perhaps after this, I will speak to the rest of you. I have jobs of my own.
Well, would be intriguing to at least catch up, brother. See how you are. Surprised you're alive.
I would say the same thing, sister.
I'm surprised I'm alive too, to be honest.
Well then, shall we go to your contact?
Yes. I will take shotgun this time. And she starts to exit the building.
After Yin's kind of out the door, he looks to the other two and says, "Be careful of her. She's crazy, you know."
Machine will look over at Yang and smile. That's what I used to like about her.
Kind of
And he'll
gives you the up and down. You're a much taller man than him, clearly. To the detriment of everyone, I think.
No more than herself.
He places his hands back into his thumbs and walks out the door.
Machine will follow behind him.
Same. Trauma will turn the lights out.
Machine will pat Trauma on the shoulder and be like, thanks for coming, brother. As they're exiting out.
Yeah. No, I should thank you for bringing me out here. About to make 1,200 credits in one night.
So you guys exit the medical facility and get into your car. Ian drives shotgun, and she's telling you the direction towards a market you're all familiar with. Though she doesn't tell the name, you guys know that it's known as what's it called? Need to come up with names more on the fly. Little Wing. It's an interesting place. All sorts of deals happen there. Not fully safe, but for people with your background and skills, it's no different from any other market that fences data, electronics, weapons, humans sometimes. And she's taking you all to a place just like that. And this one is called Little Wing. So you guys drive there, and then the scene switches to this market. And you get there, you guys hop out of the car, and if there's any RP at this place, you guys are free to do it. If not, Yin will start taking you towards her contact.
Machine will ask Trauma, because the question's been in his head for a little while. Your daughter, anything new?
She's still asleep.
And then he just nods and doesn't say anything more about it.
Yang looks between the two, not quite catching the context of the conversation. Asleep, you say? I would hope so. It's nighttime. It's a strange question.
Yeah, she sleeps a lot. Just kind of blows it off.
The machine doesn't. Yeah, he does. He decides not to go in any other details about it. Looking off.
So I want Trauma to give me a perform plus charisma, and Yang to give me a notice plus wisdom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
that's a hard one to hide.
Yang, for a brief moment, you've been observing this man as he's been working on your sister. He is professional through and through. And for that one brief moment, when he said those words, you could see a shadow pass over his face. You've seen that kind of a shadow before. You've seen that there is pain that lies behind it. There for a brief moment, and then the mask comes back on, and you see those eyes harden, and you see that same professional in front of your face again.
Yang doesn't say anything, he just opens the car door and gets out. Kind of considering what that might mean briefly, but not really caring at this time overly much. He's more keeping his eyes on Yin, not trusting her so much.
And Yin will step out of the car herself, taking a deep inhale of a vaporizer again. I think my contact is over this way. If you all want to come. That or you can just wait. Either way. Doesn't bother me.
I will come, sister.
Of course you will.
Less I know, the better. Trauma will stand outside the car, having his hands in his pockets. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. So I'm probably gonna put my revolver, probably gangster style, hidden behind the coat,
Yeah.
waistline.
Yes. So revolvers are fine. The combat stuff will be a problem. You get the sense that this place is rough and tumble, right? You can see people around you have weapons with them. Pretty standard stuff, handguns, blades, stuff like that. But no one's carrying combat weaponry.
Right.
You can choose to carry it, no issues there. You might get strange looks, people might clear out of your way, but people might take interest as well.
I think all I have is a combat rifle and a knife. So, what'd you say, Trauma? You got a pistol with you?
Yeah, it's tucked in mine.
Yeah. I'll keep my rifle in the car. I just got my knife on me.
Okay. And Trauma is going to stay with the car. Are you staying with the car as well, Machine?
They're walking to their contact now. He's
Yes, Yin
following.
and Yang are moving ahead and walking to their contact.
I'll follow. I'll tell Machine looks towards Trauma and says, I'm gonna go find out what this is all about.
Careful not to get too deep, Dean.
He nods. He says, watch your back out here.
Mhm.
As Yang's walking next to Yin, he looks over in her direction briefly and then puts his eyes forward and you get yourself in a lot of trouble, sister. As always.
Usually, my jobs involve more, I say, stealth, savoring the kill. But this is more quick pace. Unfortunately, not my usual bag, but it was an opportunity.
You're a
If-
shinobi then, is what you're saying?
I guess you could consider me that. Yes.
Well, if there's one thing that would certainly anger father.
Oh. This is all for father. You know that.
Yes, everything I do, it is also for father.
Yeah. To see him again one day.
One day.
What do you plan on doing? Oh, brother of mine.
Not exactly what you are planning, I think.
Exactly what I'm planning. I don't know. Pressing his own blade against his neck seems pretty on brand for me. Not so much for you.
Perhaps.
Perhaps we can enjoy it together.
I do not know that I trust you overly much not to do something foolish.
Like what?
Get yourself killed trying to sneak into his office or bedroom. It gets me caught along with you and everyone else.
If I have been biding my time for almost 4.5 years now. I think if I was careless, I would have done it by now. But I wait, I bide, I stalk. I do not plan on making any rash decisions. No. This is all going to be plans. It's all going to be sweet and very savory, brother.
You must hold your blade, sister. Things are not right yet. True Takeda would rule again.
If that is your plan, you may go ahead, you rule, you take it. It was always your birthright. Me.
No,
I
sister.
just...
You misunderstand. Not me. I am not the true Takeda, and neither are you.
No?
No. Father was nothing. Middle management. A fool. He usurped the throne, did he not? That is true Takeda.
You do what you want. I want to taste his blood on my blade. That's what I want.
And if you kill him now, Yoko, all the power will go to a foreigner. Is that what you wish? A
I don't
Korean
care.
dog sitting on the throne?
They can do what they wish. I don't care who has it. I just want him to see how much I've grown. How far I've come.
He shakes his head.
Hmm.
Please, sister. Still your mind.
My mind?
You need to not rush forward. You say you are patient, and be patient longer. Perhaps we can work together if you can be controlled.
I'm already controlled, brother.
Ah. And what is that? What has controlled you?
Now that we can talk about. Maybe over coffee after this meeting. Once we're paid, then we can have a sit down and discuss how you've been, how I've been. How's that?
I would enjoy that very much. His face is blank without expression.
And Yin takes another deep breath, and her eyes kind of smile at him. Really, the only emotion she can show there. Her eyebrows raise and her eyes close. Ah, here we are.
And with that, you guys reach what looks like many shops in this district. A data shop. There's an old man and what looks like a robot standing next to him. The robot is working on what looks like some menial tasks, putting together circuits.
I think
Fixing.
Machine followed us. There's Zephyr.
Oh,
Machines
yes,
with us.
sorry about that.
He's just been listening the whole time.
Yeah. What
I'm
is
kinda
wrong with
hanging in
these
the
two?
back.
Yeah.
And as you get to the shop, the old man who's hunched down, he kind of looks up, straightens his glasses and, squints and tries to focus in on Ian's face, and he says, "Young miss, do I know you? You seem familiar."
And Ian will take off her vaporizer and smile at the old man, reaching her hand out and offering her hand to hold his. Ah, Samir, it is good to see you.
Ah, Yin! It has been quite some time. Ah, I thought I would never see you again. The last time you left, you were in such a rush to leave. I hope the last job did well.
It did. It did. Thank you. I apologize for leaving so suddenly, but sometimes duty calls.
Ha ha ha, that is not a problem. You young folks always running around trying to mold the world in your image. It's good, it's good. This world needs some people with conviction.
And Zamir, I apologize that I have not come to see you on more proper terms, but I require a little bit of a favor.
A favor? Ah? What do you need help with?
Well, and she pulls out her compad. I am hardwired into an acquaintance's communication relay. Now, what I need is I need to find him, and unfortunately I do not know how, but I was hoping, as you are the best that I know, if you could help me find him using this.
Yin, you shower me with too much praise. I'm just a simple data merchant with access to some simple tools. Okay, hand it over to me. Let me see what I can do with it. Why don't you go next door and have some tea? They have good dumplings right there. You seem famished.
Oh, I'm very, very hungry. Thank you.
Yes.
Are you sure you're all right here?
Yes, I'm all right. You'll be right next door. You guys get something to eat. And you two gentlemen, you both look very hungry indeed. This will take me just a moment. And don't worry on the payment. I'll take care of those. That lady knows me very well. Now. Go eat something. Don't just stand there.
Thank you, Samir.
Machine will look kind of surprised at his generosity. Nod to him. Offer a smile. Say, thanks.
You guys get the sense that Zamir is one of the old guards. His age definitely puts him in his mid-60s. That means when he was your age, he saw a very different world, a very human world, and he still carries that with him. You can see that even though the world around him has changed, he has changed little. There's a smile upon his face as he takes the compad and starts looking at it and gets engrossed in trying to solve this puzzle. The entire shop gives you that look and feel that this man is someone who takes little things, fixes it up for people, and doesn't charge much. Like one of the last humans that you think you'll come across in a neon wasteland like this. As you guys sit at the dumpling bar next door and get something to eat, you can hear Zamir humming a tune to himself. Sounds a little different. You've not heard these tunes before. Part of you feels that, again, it's from the old world, when music used to have a very different melody to it. A soothing tone, not so electronic, not so artificial. Before long, just as you're finishing your soup and dumplings and your tea, you can hear him call over, Yin, I think I have found your friend. By the looks of it, the contact is still alive.
Perfect. And Yin will finish her food there and leave her seat paying before she moves over and comes back to the stall there. You found him?
Yes, I did. And look at this. So you can see that he's taken your compad and he's kind of hooked it up to some sort of a rig that has a small monitor attached to it. This signal seems to have stopped in the industrial district. But this is not the current industrial district. This is more the old one, back when Icarus would actually be producing hardware. Well, not anymore now, do we? Now Icarus is something else. I miss those days. You can see there's a sadness on his face. It's like he doesn't get to work with his hands as much as he would like to. And Yin bringing this little problem has brought a little joy to this dark corner of the world. And he says, look, and he turns the screen around. And you guys see that there's a picture. It's basically like a 3D map. It's like if current day Google Maps kind of went all the way, right? You're seeing a location out in Icarus in the old industrial district that looks kind of like this. It's run down. There's definitely not in use, and there is there are buildings around, and all of you give me a. Actually, you don't need to, because the picture shows it all. You get a sense that this place would make sense for someone to hide out.
Thank you very much, Samir. It's much appreciated that you do this. Thank you. And she'll reach her hand out again and take his, clasping his hand with both of hers.
And he takes your hand and he, with one hand, and he clasps his other hand on it, and there's genuine concern in his face, Ian. And I want you to make a survive plus charisma. Actually, no. Give it a sneak plus charisma. Sorry, sneak plus charisma. Yeah.
Give me one moment. Sneak plus charisma. Ooh.
Okay. So Samir has his hand, has your hands clasped, and you can see there's genuine concern. And this role was to see how well you hide your emotions from him, and you succeeded, but you're welcome to do as you please. He says, Yin, be careful. This place, it's no longer safe. Most bad people now use it for bad deeds, really bad deeds. If your friend is there, he is in a lot of trouble. You should go to the authorities. Don't do this by yourself.
Don't worry, Samir. I'm not doing it by myself. I am making sure to take every precaution. You know me, I'm careful, I'm cautious. And I'll make sure to take the utmost care in this place. But I thank you for your concern. It is very touching.
No, but I have to be concerned. I've seen you around here often. You seem to be always in the daze, lost and searching for something, but at the same time, there is something about you. I've seen the way you treat people. You've seen the way you treat little children. Don't lose it, Yin. Don't let this place take it from you. And here, he kind of hands you this little data stick and says, I was able to get all the plans to the place, the schematics to this location. You have everything here. If you're going to go in by yourself to save your friend, please be careful.
I will. Thank you. And she pats his hand and gives it a squeeze. before letting go and putting back on her vaporizer. She takes a deep breath again and looks back to Machine and Yang. We have the location. We have the map.
As you're walking by, Yang reaches his hand over to Samir for your trouble, offering him to scan his palm.
No. I thank you, but no. I do it out of care for Yin.
And
She
I do
is
this
special.
out of... And, good sir, I do this out of care for you and my sister.
Your sister? Yin has a brother. Oh, this is wonderful news. I thought she was alone in this world.
She is.
Ah, I don't understand. How can she be alone if she has a brother?
She makes herself alone, unfortunately.
And
Please.
you can see his face harden and he kind of steps away and he says, I don't understand families, but there must be a reason. I can't accept your money, Ian's brother. Please understand, my culture doesn't allow it. When I do something for a friend, it's done out of... And the word takes you aback. You've not heard it in a long time. I do it out of genuine love. Please, do not make it small by this transaction of cash. Go in peace, my friend. Hope you can help her find her way.
Frowns and nods, looks over to Machine and then back to Yin, and begins walking again.
Machine kind of shrugs and looks at the old man. Thanks again, old man.
You're welcome. If you have the chance, do take care of Ian, please. You seem like someone who knows his way around. And clearly he's being a little more patriarchal again, someone showing his age in today's day and age where it doesn't really matter what gender you are. Augmentations, adaptations, skills are literally equivalent.
Shit. I need to get my token on to roll that, sorry.
That's
show me
fine.
the stuff.
1 minute. Let me just push you for a moment to the screen. There you go.
Oh no.
Oh lord.
Oh no.
So as you guys,
Cut out, Zephyr.
you can. Sorry.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry. So as you guys head back towards the car, as you turn around the corner, you can see that just move you guys a little. Trauma is by the car. He's just looking around, minding his own business. Yin, you catch the first glimpse of the person. And he's looking around as well. And his eyes kind of focus on the car, focus on Trauma. And then he sees behind, like beyond Trauma, and he sees you guys kind of coming out from that corner alleyway. He kind of raises his right hand to his ear. He presses something, says something, and from the back over there, two people just silently come into view from the shadow. What do you do?
Yin will look over at him there, kind of holding her hand up to Machine and Yang. She will have a hand on her blade, but she will approach them more of an open stance, not anything super careful, but she's cautious but not hostile.
Okay.
She looks very confused, kind of tilting her head as she approaches.
And this man, he also in an open stance, cautious but no sudden movements, walks up here. The two people in the shadows who emerge, they just stand there. No motion, nothing, no action to show anything is untoward. As he gets close, he says, Miss Yin, I presume?
Yes, that is me.
I am Mr. Sachs's personal assistant. So, out of character, though the token may be same, it's a slightly different person. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't have cloning just yet.
Yeah, I was very concerned.
Yeah, but the reason I use the same token is to give you that effect of the same people in the space. Back in character, he says, I am Mr. Sachs's personal assistant, and it has been troubling, recent events, and I'm here to find the truth out on Mr. Sachs's behalf. I hope I can get the truth from you.
Of course. And she turns around, seeing Yang and Machine have approached closer, and she again holds out her hand, trying to motion them to stop.
And he sees them approaching closer, and his hands go back to his ears. And pretty soon, two more people pop out from the shadows.
Damn it.
Miss Yin, I'm here to find the truth. Mr. Sachs does not wish to react rashly. However, if the truth is not found out and the matter completed, the reaction will not be as cordial as it is right now. So please, work with me here.
That is what I am planning on doing. And she will remove her hand.
Gentlemen with you do not seem to be.
They do not. And she'll look back at them, scowling. Please, let me handle this. I need you all to stop looking so hostile, as this is not a hostile situation.
Machine will look at her and then look over at him, straight blank face. Oh, it hasn't gotten anywhere near hostile yet.
Yeah,
Hostile.
The Gaijin speaks true. I simply walk.
Just at this point, halt. Let me handle this.
Machine kind of looks over at Trauma, like kind of a heads up, and kind of points his eyes towards the trunk, and then back towards them, but doesn't make any moves.
Trauma looks at Machine, sees what he's trying to go for, and just kind of shakes his head and just glances over the conversation, starts doing a quick head count, sees there are 5 right now, and then just pockets that away and just listens.
Yeah.
And Yin will take her hand off her blade and her jacket there, holding them up. May I take out my compad to show you the information that I have found and explain what happened?
You may, but please understand the situation. You are in Little Wing. This is a center for data exchange and fencing of stolen goods. You were tasked with helping a transaction happen tonight. The transaction has not. Mr. Sachs's men are dead, the hacker missing, and that which he wants most right now is not in either your hands by the looks of it, nor his. So please, I'm all ears. We would like to conclude this matter amicably.
I do too. She takes a deep breath, inhaling. Now, we received the package. All is well. My compatriot, the hacker, provided overwatch while I lurked in the shadows. As I do. Everything went fine. We went back to the pickup location. There were two gentlemen, both with tattoos of brass knuckles pointing upwards towards their chin, who came out.
And when you say that, he kind of points his finger to stop you there. Was the tattoo on their necks?
Yes.
And the knuckles pointing up towards the chin, you say?
Yes.
Interesting. The knuckle dragger gang.
Interesting.
That explains some of this. Carry on.
I was able to quickly dispatch one of them while the hacker fumbled with another. His inability to take one out caused the one guard's death. As I turned around, there was a vehicle approaching filled with them. They destroyed the vehicle that we came in, killed off the other gentleman who came with us, injured me severely, and Nero as well. And as I lay on the ground, thinking I was about to die, they walked over, grabbed the package, and in the process, grabbed Nero. Now, I don't want to suspect anything, but it is interesting that they grabbed him. But I digress.
We know why they grabbed him. Do you know where they are located right now?
I do. I have both the schematics of the location and I have his precise location. We were about to head there now as I want to complete this job, get Mr. Sachs his package, and get my money, as I will not stop until this is done. You know me.
And he shakes his head and he says, "Give me a moment, please." He starts walking away. As he walks away, he kind of jerks his head, and two of the guards go back into the shadows. You can hear him talking on his compad. He's nodding his head furiously. Ian, you would know that that kind of body language would mean that he's talking sad. After some time, he comes back. "Well, Miss Ian, Mr. Sachs still has trust in you. The information he provided checks out. So here is what he proposes." And he looks at you and he looks at the gentleman. "Mr. Sachs would like you to complete this mission, get back the box. He would also like you to rescue the hacker. He wants him. Why? That's none of your concern before you ask me the question. And since it looks like you do have a group with you now, he would most appreciate it if you how did you put it? With impunity? Yes, that's the word he used. With impunity, erase the knuckle dragger gang.
Oh, my pleasure.
Mr. Sachs has authorized me to let you and your group know that the mission, if completed successfully, that is, Nero brought back, the box brought back intact, and the Knuckle Dragger gang wiped out, each of you would be getting 5,000 credits. That is in addition to what was already promised to you, Miss Yin, and the hacker Nero for finishing the first job. Yes, let me repeat that. For completing all of this, 5,000 credits each.
On behalf of these men, as they are under right now, my employ, it seems, we accept.
Excellent.
Hell yeah,
And he
we
kind
do.
and he kind of puts his hand to his ear again, and he looks. Mr. Sachs also says that he is very impressed with your work so far, even though there has been some road bumps, speed bumps. And to ensure your success, he has sent a drone over to that location. You will have complete information, real time, as to what the activities of the people in that location are. And he hands you a data slab, and you can see that there is drone footage of that area. Live, real time drone footage.
Perfect.
Well, Miss Yin, the time is ticking. You do not have too much time of that is. If they break Neuro, or they use Neuro to unlock what's in the box, then the whole deal is off. And then we will come after you. I'm sorry I have to put it that way, and Mr. Sachs regrets those words, but he wished to impress upon you how serious the matter is. That box should not be opened by anyone else than Mr. Neuro in Mr. Sachs's presence.
Acceptable.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And he starts walking away, and then he goes into the shadows as well. The other two disappear into the shadows. And you guys are free to talk for any closing RP as the screen slowly starts fading to.
And Yin will turn around to face the three. My apologies for getting you involved with my business. But on the plus side, we're all getting paid fairly well. And I am confident enough in my abilities that we will succeed. As I do not fail.
Besides, when we came to you and you were 9, that is, of course.
That was not failure, that was mere... What did he say? Speed bump?
Machine will have his arms crossed. There's no apologies necessary, Chi-Chi. Our night just got a lot better.
Well, Machine. I am happy you managed to make it out and decide to come see me.
You know I don't like it when you call me Machine.
No, I don't like it when you call me Chi-Chi.
So what do you say, Drama? 5,000?
I can't think of much else I'd rather be doing right now than making money. So, yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm welcome. Smoking a cigarette.
And with that, the scene fades to black, and the session comes to an end. Thank you for playing Cyberpunk 2049 Solid State Society.